I'm now going to give an opportunity to Honorable Kgabo. Please proceed. Following Honorable Nkosi.
Thank you very much, Chairperson. Thank you for the opportunity. Let me also pass my greetings to all members present here, including DSEC delegation and the Minister. And I appreciate the fact that the Minister ultimately adhered to our call as the Portfolio Committee and appear before the committee so that we are able to raise issues and questions in relation to some of his decisions and public pronouncements that continues to have a financial implication on the standing of the department. And Chair, I would plead with you, mine would be a direct, I would prefer a one-on-one interaction. And I'd be clear as to who must equally respond to my questions, if you'd allow me, Honorable Chair.
I would suggest ask the question, Honorable Kgabo, and the person responsible or will then be responding to that, or I will indicate, or they can just automatically respond to you. You may proceed.
No, thank you very much, Chairperson. Maybe one must start indicating, probably reaffirming our accountability ecosystem that is in place as government. We are charged with the responsibility of holding the department, including the Minister, accountable on some of the decisions that has been taken. So it must be understood in that context that as and when we are asking questions as a portfolio committee, it is for that reason as a way of trying to fulfill our oversight role and responsibilities of holding the administration accountable. So I would want to check with the Minister in terms of this board. You know, the appointment of this board has so many issues in relation to the process that has been followed. I would want to check with the Minister directly. He spoke of a panel being appointed that handled the process of the appointment of the board. And I would want to check with the Minister, did I hear him correctly that he has appointed a board that handled the process?
Minister? The Minister?
Let me just unmute you. Chairperson, may I ask that, because I'm making notes here, all the questions that are coming to me, because I see many hands went up, that all the questions can be asked because Honorable Mulatani had questions, Honorable Daniel had questions, and I see now that Honorable Kgabo also had the question. If everybody can ask the questions, and when I answer, with your permission, Chair, I answer all the Honorable members' concerns and questions, if that suits you.
You see, Minister, I'm happy all the questions that has been raised by all members has been responded to. I'm happy with that. In terms of further response, if you want to, I would like you to give also an opportunity at the end of that. But with the questions raised by Honorable Kgabo now and his wish to deal with it on one-on-one, as a committee we have allowed it because there is a rationale behind why members are doing this for a particular purpose to get the necessary answer out of a particular person. So I would think I'll grant Honorable Kgabo that opportunity, and the department or you as the minister also that opportunity to respond likewise as members pose these questions. Honorable Kgabo, proceed.
Yes, thank you very much, Chairperson. I would want to check with the minister. He spoke of a panel. How was the panel appointed and how many people constitute that panel, Chairperson? Thank you.
The Minister.
Thank you very much, Honorable Kgabo, for your question. Yes, as the ultimate accounting authority of the Department of Sport, Arts and Culture, we appoint the panel. There's a panel that interviewed the members of the board, and there's a panel that interviews the members of the board. What's happening here now?
You are audible, Honorable Minister.
Audible. Oh,
and I can
so
see you.
There's a panel that I appoint to appoint the board and interview members of the possible candidates for the board. Yes, I did appoint that. And the second question is asking, if I'm not mistaken, I think there's 5 members sitting on that panel. 5 members sitting on that panel, and they are selected based on the expertise of the National Art Council. I think names.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. Minister, you are indicating that you have appointed them in line with their expertise. I would wanted to check with you the process of appointing them, those panel or the panel that you had appointed. Which process did you follow? As you had indicated that one of the requirements was an understanding of or having an arts expertise or being an expert in terms of the arts center. The arts sector. So which process have you followed them? I would not want to check, or I will not want to use the phrase that I used previously, Chair, whether there was a process or the minister and picked them. That's probably my line of questioning. Thanks.
Minister?
Yes, I think, as I said to you again, as the minister, I give instructions. This is what I'd like to happen. And fortunately, the person I've given instructions to is here on the handle the whole process. So I think he's in a better position to answer Mr. Tanyani because he's been given the instruction of what the processes are in appointing that. So I think it's better that he's here. He can answer.
Thank you. I will grant that to the member designated to do so.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Yes, in actual fact, the question that Honorable Kgabo is asking was part of the presentation that I made.
Let me just clear something. I understand that it was part of the presentation that you have made, but it's now for interrogation and for members to ask that questions. So I would like us to give that opportunity to members, which we are doing now.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Chair. Understood. And then in terms of the process, the first thing is that, when the minister, because it was the first time for the minister to appoint this board as a new minister, we put the provisions of the act before the minister in terms of how the process would then be run. And then in terms of the panel that is appointed by the minister, we then go out and source names of the people that could be considered to be panel members to interview the people and present those to minister for approval. So there are administrative processes that precede that appointment, which are done formally through a submission, internal submission that goes to the minister to say, here are the members or people that have been identified to form part of the panel. And when the minister agrees with that, those people are then appointed as that. So those are not part of, because they are not serving as board members, so would not necessarily advertise, but will check for people that would have knowledge in the sector, that would also have governance expertise and other expertise that a panel would need. So it would not be a one thing, a one part of that you only take artists, but you want.
Thank you so much. I think that's enough, Honorable Kgabo.
Chairperson, thank you very much. I want to check with the official. Is he saying to us as a portfolio committee that a panel that was appointed to interview board members of the National Arts Council, they were not subjected to any transparent process? Rather, they were handpicked or identified by whoever that identified them without any process. In my simple understanding, is this confirming to us that these people were not subjected to no process that is transparent in terms of sourcing these people? That's why my question was, how did you source these people? Did you handpick them? Did you go to the arts sector or the creative sector, say that, can you propose names? Or did the minister bring the list of names that he approved? Can you give us that clarity? How did you source these names? Because these names had the powers to facilitate an interview that will then give birth to a board that is before us. So that's why I'm not interested in interacting with the board. I basically want to engage on the process that we had followed in appointing this board so that we can deal with the issues of credibility and clear the process altogether. How did we source these names? Were they handpicked? Were they proposed by a stakeholder? Did the minister bring a list or did the department bring a list? Can we get clarity here?
Mr. Machanyane,
I can give you clarity on that thing, if I may. It was done in line with the Act. You read the Act, and we have done it in line with the Act. If you read the Act, you will know that we've done it in line with the Act. I didn't bring a list of names to people as you are implying. If you go and read the Act and come back to us and say to us that you've not followed the Act here, because I'm saying to you as the minister publicly, we have done the appointments in line with the Act. And if you've not read it, we're going to go up and down here.
Thank you, Honorable Minister, Mr. Honorable Kgabo.
No, thank you very much. The issue of reading the Act, it's a non-starter. It's something that we cannot debate now. But over and above, we'll then assess as to who read the Act and who has not read the Act. I want to check with the minister. The panel that he has appointed, although he is unable to take the committee into confidence as to how did he get these names, were they subjected to any vetting through the state security? This panel that the minister had appointed.
Once again, the Act doesn't require them to be vetted by state security. That's why I said we should read the Act and ask questions regarding that, because the Act doesn't require them to be vetted by state security.
Thank you, Minister. Honorable Kgabo.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair. The minister obviously cannot be technical in this aspect because the Act is very clear that the process must be transparent. And what we are trying to verify here as a portfolio committee is to check as to whether the process was conducted in a transparent manner, especially when there are allegations in the public domain that some of these people who are then appointed, apart from political affiliations, are business partners to the minister. So that's what we're trying to demystify and to get clarity as to the process that gave birth to the appointment of this board. How was it handled? But I get it to you that the minister is unable to respond to my question as to whether these people were subjected to any vetting or not. Because it cannot be that, Honorable Chair, you appoint people not in any transparent process, meaning that you handpick these people. After you have handpicked these people, you then subject them, you do not subject them to any vetting. How do you then verify as to whether these people have the relevant expertise in line with the creative sector, whether these people will be able to handle the process in a credible way?
Honorable Chair.
Honorable Minister, before you come in, can we meet who's Bertha? Honorable Minister, before you're going to respond, Honorable Kgabo, the question has been raised to the minister. The minister indicated, according to the Act, it's not for the minister to read or to clarify, and likewise from your side. If we also had a presentation that said there were no objections. If the minister said he has done this according to the Act, I am satisfied, but to an extent that once there's allegations, this must be tested. The minister has responded according to the Act, and can you proceed with the next question?
I'll proceed with my next question, Chair. I would like to check with the minister in terms of his personal and business relationship that he has confirmed in the national platform that he has with the chair of the National Arts Council. Has it in any how influenced or contributed to Mr. Eugene being appointed as the chair of the National Arts Council?
The minister.
Firstly, is Honorable Kgabo supposed to know that as a minister, I have to declare my business interest in line with the declaration required, the Act stipulating we have to declare. I have resigned from all family businesses prior to my appointment to becoming a minister. I am currently not owning any business. I am currently not a director in any business. So as far as the influence of the chairperson, Mr. Eugene Botha is concerned, there's not been any conflict. But I also think we need to understand in what have I in breach, what act have I been in breach of. If we cannot deal with each other's feelings and what we think, and he says the committee is here to ask the questions. That's why I'm subjecting myself to the committee, because this committee is needed. I am answerable to this committee. But if we all give our feelings here, he makes an example and say that, how do I know the people? I can tell you, in the sake of transparency, I was just looking at the list of the people that was appointed, and he says, did I subject them to state security and vetting, which wasn't necessary. The Act doesn't require me to do that. I look at the names here. I know 2 people on this list. Of the 5 people, I know 2 people, and both of them, the one is one of the most accomplished singers in this country, and singing coach. The other one, Mr. Osmik, he's the only person that he did the first hip hop museum in the world. The first hip hop museum in the world. He started the first. So there's the 2 people I know on this list. It just shows you that the other people I don't know, but I trust people in my department to come with the right people. The other 3 people I've never met. Mr. Vianney Tlotling, Ms. Maria Lomba, Malinga Governor.
I think the answer is sufficient because it was directly to the chairperson. Honorable Kgabo, proceed.
Honorable Chair, thank you very much. And I would plead with the Minister that he must not misunderstand us when we ask questions, because we are public representatives, we are interacting with people, they raise issues. So us raising questions, Honorable Minister, has nothing to do with feelings. We are not in All You Need Is Love here. We are not here to massage each other's feelings, but rather speak to issues that affect our people. And when our majority of our people who are young in the creative industry are raising issues around the National Arts Council and its board, it is only us who are representatives of the people who are sitting in this board to raise this issue. So, Minister, I can put it to you that there is nothing personal. We are just raising issues in line with our responsibilities. In terms of Minister, I would want to check with you. The composition of the National Arts Council also speaks to the issues of provinces contributing or having representatives there. I would want to check with you. Your response earlier on says that you are relying on the good working relations ethics. And I would want to check with you in terms of monitoring of those ethics that you are referring to. Can you confirm to this committee that which process has the MEC has consulted? Because you have said that you must refer to the Act. There is Section 4 of the Act that speaks to this process in terms of provincial representatives. I would want to check with the minister. Now that he says that he only relied on the good working relations ethics, is he confirming to this committee that he has not done any monitoring or evaluation in terms of how the process was conducted of appointing provincial representatives? Maybe we must put it before the minister that if he is not aware, there are allegations that provinces are not conducting this process in a transparent manner. That's why I was asking you in terms of how do you get these people? Where do you get them? And it is being also the allegations that in provinces, there is no engagement taking place between the stakeholders that are involved in the creative industry. Rather, it is MECs or it is directors HODs in provinces who decides. I want to check with you. How was these people appointed, apart from you only relying on the good working relations ethics?
The Minister.
All right. Thank you so much. No, I do understand, Honorable Kgabo. In no way would I ever not answer questions when required. But there's a difference between asking questions and casting aspersions. And you've been casting aspersions, and all you need is love. I know this is not all you need is love. This is not, I'm not your type, you're not my type, so this is not all you need is love. We will answer you. I can tell you for a fact, as a fact, Honorable Kgabo, what you are saying is that we are required to tell Congress, please give us your names, go through the process.
Honorable Nkosi. Please mute Honorable Nkosi.
So just
I'm sorry,
I lost my train of thought there. I'm saying that as the minister, I am required to tell the provinces, please go through your process. Go through the processes mandated by the Act and bring us a representative of the province. What has then subsequently happened after that? I had to fight with the MECs for the time frames because half of the MECs in South Africa, I think 5 of them were late and 4 or 3 of them only submitted on the due date. I went back twice writing to them saying, we are in breach of your duties. You are in breach of your duties on that aspect. Can you please give me the names? I picked up the phone. I called the provinces one by one after I've sent them letters. So now they've sent us the names. The next step is, I've had no complaints. If there's a complaint in writing to me that the member in Free State, and I'm just using Free State, not cutting any persons, the member in Free State or Northwest has not been, the process has not been followed, I will then investigate. But in the absence of any complaints, I've not had any reason to. I have to believe what I've received. Thank you, Honorable Kgabo.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. Honorable Kgabo.
No, thank you very much. I want to jump, maybe probably to give the minister an opportunity to drink a bit of water. I'll come back to him now. Maybe I must just go to the CFO.
Honorable Kgabo, I'm chairing here. Don't give instructions to the minister.
My apology, I withdraw, and I think the minister takes it very lightly and properly. My apology, Chair, for doing that.
Proceed, Honorable Member.
I want to check. Let me go to the finances. We are a main contributor to the departmental's irregular expenditure as National Arts Council, and I would want to check with the CFO. How long has he been the CFO of the National Arts Council, Chair?
CFO.
Good morning. Am I audible?
Yes, you are. Please respond.
Thank you. I would really like to pay my respects and say good morning to the Honourable Minister, to you, Honourable Chairperson.
It's fine. We're happy. Just say the amount of years.
Observed. Yes. I have been the interim CFO for the last 22 months, starting from February 2023. Thank you, Chairperson.
Thank you so much.
Chairperson, thank you very much.
Honorable Kgabo, I had a little bit of a shock now. I thought it's going to be the last 22 years, but you have the answer is 22 months?
Yes, I got the answer, Chair. The report of the Auditor General indicates in the 2 previous financial years that there has been an overspending by the National Arts Council, especially in line with their allocation. Why? I would want to check with the CFO. Why did the National Arts Council overspend outside the approved budget?
CFO.
Thank you for your question, Honourable Member. So for 2024, I'd like to start with 2024. In terms of irregular expenditure, we received more expenditure, or not we received, should I say, we reflected more expenditure than the income received. And that's just in terms of the documentation. In reality, there was more income received than expenditure. But the reason why it was classified as irregular expenditure is that the documentation was not in place. In terms of irregular expenditure and in terms of the framework, we needed a budget adjustment to be signed off by the minister, which was not completed. So there was not actual irregular expenditure in terms of budget versus actual. And that was that for the last financial years as well. I hope that's clear. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you so much. Honourable Kgabo, please wrap up with your questions.
Yeah, I've got a few questions just left, Chairperson. I think the CFO forgot to speak about the overspending. Why did they overspend outside the budget approved?
CFO, overspending.
Chairperson. So maybe I should just to place into perspective. In terms of the documentation, what we have done is that we had increased. I just want to move my phone away. In terms of the documentation, there was no actual overspending. There was just in terms of documentation of approvals from the executive authority that was not done. And therefore, it was classified as irregular expenditure. As
by
income,
the AG.
Yes.
Thank you. Honorable Kgabo, proceed.
I'm not sure whether the CFO is saying that the AG incorrectly defined the overspending in line with the irregular expenditure, and how do you deal with it? I'm not sure if that's what the CFO is confirmed, but let me take that one, Honorable Chair. Let me close my questions in the last one or two, but then they are directed to the Minister, and I believe that must put it on record in this portfolio committee that an appointment process of the National Arts Council panel by the Minister, this matter will even take it up in Parliament, or exploit all processes that we can exploit in relation to this. Because what we have received from the Minister in relation to the process and transparency, which is a key factor in terms of conducting the process of government, we are not getting the Minister being clear then. The Minister, in closing, Chair, I would want to check with the Minister. The Minister has confirmed that he's not doing business. He does not have any business with the Chair. But also, he confirmed that the Chair of the National Arts Council is doing business with his family. I think I would want to check. Two things that are left that I want to check with the Minister. I think at some point, the Minister, is the Chair of the National Council has he ever been your personal or your advisor at some point? But number two, the Chair of the Council, including some of the members who have been reappointed in the National Arts Council, I would want to check firstly on those that have been reappointed on the National Arts Council, as those who have served before. What measures or which mechanism have we used to verify their relevance into the sector? Because I would want to get clarity on one or two. There are allegations of the previous National Arts Council being unable, board in particular, being unable to hold the administration accountable, especially in relations to the disbursement of the presidential stimulation packages. There's also been allegations that some of the board members have been directly benefiting from the grants that are meant for the poor and the destitute artists in the rural areas. Now, I would want to check with the Minister. How did they come to that the conclusion as to these two are the relevant one, especially when there are allegations that one of the members who has been reappointed has a dual citizenship. And, Minister, I know you very clear in terms of Abahambe, even though there are some political parties alleging that this thing of Abahambe was just a elections campaign. But there are allegations that there are other members that you have reappointed into the council who've got dual citizenship. I want to check with the Minister, how did he come to that conclusion and overlooking South Africans? Which special skill or of qualification does this member possess, especially when there are allegations that there is a ring-fenced funding that has been them funding the 30 million orchestra on an annual basis without any transparent process being conducted. I think it's Mr. Temper. There are allegations that he's involved in one of those orchestras where they are receiving 30 million on an annual basis from NAC. And these are some of the things that were raised in the previous board. Remember that there was a court case before the board. Before, in relation to the board that was appointed previously, there was a court case. That's why I wanted also to check as to how much have we spent on defending the previous board, and is there any legal case before us in relation to this board? But in closing, this relationship that the Minister is having with the board chair of NAC, I don't have a problem. Anybody can choose his friends. I'm just worried in terms of the level of conflict of interest, especially when Mr. Bota is serving in more than 3 boards, in my little understanding of how I've been perusing. So I would like to check with the Minister on those 3 things: the issue of dual membership, dual citizenship, the issue of personal relations, the issues of conflict of interest, especially when the people are appointed in more than 3 boards. How do we manage the issue of conflict of interest? How do we then demystify allegations that people are appointed in more than 3 boards as a way of trying to capture these boards and manage these things for our own political ambitions. That's what allegations are there, must be verified, must be tested. That's why we are asking these questions. We are not fishing, we are not hunting for anything, but we are seeking that clarity from the minister so that he can take us into confidence in terms of the transparency of the process. Thank you very much, Chairperson, for your patience and indulgence. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Honorable Kgabo. The Minister.
Thank you so much, Chairperson. Let me start with just to show you, I am the minister. I can't be going on gossip and listening to stories. I need to go on facts in my decision making. Number one gossip that the honorable member is bringing here, and he's just speaking like it's facts. He says Mr. Botha sits on more than 3 boards or 3 boards. That's a lie. There's no other way to describe it. The honorable member is untruthful. It's not true. Mr. Botha sits on 1 board. So, Chairperson, please indulge me. Let him tell me which other 2 boards he's sitting on, because I'm saying he's sitting on NAC. I mean, give him the opportunity, as you've given them the opportunity with me, to tell you which other boards Mr. Botha is sitting on. Because he's made that allegation now.
Honorable Kgabo,
not a problem, Chairperson. I'll gladly do that. Let me get my report here. Give me a minute or 2, then I'll gladly respond to that question.
Okay, thank you. Honorable Minister, proceed with the responses on the court cases, expenses, and Mr. Temba.
I'm so looking forward to hear the other 2 boards that Mr. Botha is sitting on. Let me come to the second issue, Honorable Chair. The Act. Let's go with the Act. I'm governed by the Act. The Act says, he says, I have put 3 board members there. How did I vet them? It's not what the Act requires of me. And I'm going to take time to explain to the Honorable Kgabo what does the Act says. The Act says the 3 board members that was appointed previously, they were appointed, the 3 board members that's appointed now was appointed by the previous board for the sake of community. Yeah? In terms of the Act. That is what the Act wants them to do. They were elected by the members of the previous board. And as a minister, we can only note them. They come to me for noting. It's not, that's how the Act works. It's not my decision. Now, all this aspersion, as far as Abahambe and Mr. Tembe, I have had, when I was in France, I had lunch, breakfast with Mr. Tembe. And he is from Lamontville. Now, I don't know where does he get this thing that Mr. Tembe is a foreigner. Because when I spoke to Mr. Tembe, I asked him, where are you from? Tell me your background. And he told me, I'm from Lamontville. And Mr. Tembe has been given to me as the Act requires. The issue of is there another question I left out, Honorable Chair?
I think it's the issue of the court cases, what has been spent to date.
I would not be privy to that type of information, but the ADG is here. She can answer that type of information. Thank you very
Minister.
much. Minister has passed. Can we hear from Mr. Kgabo, Honorable Kgabo?
Okay, Honorable Kgabo, I just want to find out, before you're going to respond, the issue that you have referred to of the board members, the 3 board members, is it the 3 previous members that you are referring to, or is it other board members? I just want to have clarity on that.
I was talking about those that are coming through as a way of continuity, as it has been represented or presented in the report.
Okay, thank you.
And the issues of response, I'm just checking my thing here, Chairperson. I don't have a problem. Look, I've never had a problem of responding. I'm going to respond.
I'm happy. I just want to read this to NAC. Section 4, subsection 6B of the NAC Act, which reads as follows. At the end of the member's term, I want to raise the issue Honorable Kgabo has raised. 3 members who are not provincial representatives, one of whom shall be an executive member, shall be re-elected by the council to serve for a further 4 years, after which they shall not be eligible for reappointment until a further 4 years have lapsed. Now, the issue raised, if we are on the same level, there are currently 3 executive members from the previous council who have been re-elected to the new council instead of 1 in terms of the Act. Those members are Princess Dlamini, Mr. Bongani Tembe, and Ms. Stefani De Silva. That is what I have. So if we can just perhaps stall a little bit on this one, NAC, Dr. Kumalo, whoever, just to give us clarity on this, to see whether my, or rather our interpretation and that of the NAC of the department are in sync.
Thank you, Chair. Indeed, you are referring to a correct section. It talks about 3 members as nominated by that current board, and a recommendation then made to minister. One of those who should be coming from the executive committee of that particular board. So the understanding that I have, but again, Mr. Tsanyana, I'm going to refer to you, is that indeed the previous board submitted those 3 names as depicted in the Act, Chairperson. And Mr. Tsanyana, you just want to expand maybe, but I think I'm interpreting what was submitted correctly.
Yeah, please do.
Yes, Chair. Thank you. It is correct, Chair. It's 3 members, not 1. It just says one of those 3 members must have been serving in the ExCo of Council. Thank you.
Thanks for clarity, Minister. While we wait for Honourable Kgabo, I'm going to give an opportunity to Honourable Nkosi.